You so much. I now want to break down what this target letter is all about and the window that he has to respond. Joining me now is Brandon Van Grack, a national security lawyer. Now, first of all, we have not seen the actual target letter. He has alluded to it, he has referenced to it as well. This is a sample target letter of the kind that you would receive if you were to be a defendant or a putative defendant in an action. Let's take it in bite-sized pieces, though, because first, not everyone gets them. But if they have, it might look like this. Walk us through kind of the first part. It's telling you about what your rights will be or what you are supposed to do as a grand jury witness.
That's right. There's one distinction, I think, between this sample target letter and probably what the former president got, which is what this is saying is explaining how the grand jury process is going to happen. But it's the implicit here is that the individual who's receiving this letter has been compelled to testify in the grand jury. And I think more likely than not what the former president got was an invitation. In fact, this sample letter comes from the Department of Justice's own website that gives a sample letter. And so sometimes they're compelled and it says, this is what you're going to do. And what probably former president got probably didn't include that specific language.
But in the language, it's like one section of it. A notion of, we advise you the grand jury is conducting an investigation, likely of federal crimes. And of course, you cannot destroy or alter evidence if you are either compelled or expected to actually produce it, right?
That's right. And I think if we can bring that language back up, I think that's probably the most interesting part of the letter that the former president got. Because,
let's bring that back.
Because if you show the star at the end, you can miss it. It's actually not a footnote. What it is an invitation for the prosecutors to include the potential charges that the former president may be sort of accused of violating. And so I think this line likely was in the letter, and I think there's been some reporting recently this afternoon indicating what those potential violations are.
We're going to walk through what those could possibly be, but the notion they are going to have some advance notice. The third part, if you think about these bite-sized pieces, of course, it's telling you a little bit about what might be the sort of law and order moment of what you can say or what you will say may be used against you. The notion of you have the right to refuse to answer a question that might surprise people.
Well, that's exactly right, which is the point of the target letter, maybe taking a step back. It's a fairness point. Again, in the Department of Justice's own internal guidelines, it, quote, encourages prosecutors to send this letter to individuals who are about to be indicted and may be indicted. And what it's saying is, again, this is, I think language like this would have appeared in front of the former president. It's an invitation to testify, but you do have rights. You are not compelled to testify, and that's exactly what this letter is showing.
Finally, on one last point of it, what you don't have the right to, although we know about the right to counsel, that attorney can't be in the room with you in the grand jury.
That's correct.
And the grand jurors can ask you questions, but you can go out, step outside the grand jury room and confer. Why is that significant?
Well, I think, it's the reason why most individuals who receive a target letter do not, in fact, testify in front of the grand jury.
It's more than a safety and security blanket. It might have implications. Stand by, please, Brandon, because there's also another huge development today. 16 people across Michigan have now been charged and now face multiple felony counts in a 2020 fake elector scheme. We've got CNN Jessica Schneider in the city of Lansing with much more on this. Jessica,